So, mutants take 3 times as much damage from melee as they do from guns, anywhere, on the body. They're also all maniac and nothing else. So this leads to some interesting situations where you can just straight up one-shot mutants. I'm so glad I got that first try. Now, you can just straight up one-shot them. I highly recommend not shooting them even if you're a veteran gun build, because that leads to situations like this. You end up spending half a magazine of ammo. By the way, this has Raking Fire 4 on it just for the purposes of showing that. So, you end up wasting half or more of a magazine more often than not on an enemy that you could otherwise have killed in 1 to 2, maybe sometimes 3 hits normally. Hold on, let me just not hit the weak spot. Yeah, 1 to 3 hits usually. So, to dodge a mutant every time with almost maximum consistency, as soon as you see the arm move, that's your cue to dodge. It'll work even from close range. The second you see any movement on the big right arm, you just dodge. Don't try to dodge the mutant. People will mentally prep themselves to dodge the mutant based on his distance to the player. Don't do that. Prep yourself to dodge based on the movement of the arm, and it'll work every time. I'm going to try to let him get super close, actually. Okay, that was a little too close. But I don't even know. What was that even going to prove? What an actual fucking retard thing to do and say. Anyway, this will work even if there's multiple mutants. You look for the arm, you see the arm, you see the arm, you see the arm. Now, that's something I want to talk about next. Dodging mutants without visual cues is significantly harder. So, the fundamental principle you need to understand is you want to be in close range with the mutants, and they will come to you. So you always keep them in your field of view, you stab them when they come in, dodge when you see their arm move, and then hit them again to guarantee kill them. But, what if you can't do that? Well, you can go off the stomps. The stomps give you a fairly good indicator, but this is really not something that you want to do. This is literally something that just requires you to get good, so to speak. You literally just have to fight them long enough to get familiar with how close the stomps are. It is an option, it's something that you need in your back pocket, but it's not something you ever want to rely on. Like, if you're in a situation where there's fire, okay, this is another thing I want to talk about, fire. So fire raises the threat level of mutants exponentially. Because fire makes it so that mutants can basically kill you instantly, because they pretty much always fucking carry you into it. If there's fire and you hear a mutant, treat it like a crusher overhead or a disabler, something that's just going to kill you. Give it the absolute top threat level. Oh, also, toughness is a very important factor for mutants. So Psyker with 100 toughness here takes quite a substantial amount of damage. But if I swap to Veteran with 130 toughness, the damage would be very different. Because, so you see how I go from 103 to 69 every time? So I lose about 40 toughness there. But if I have 130 toughness or 150 like I do on Veteran I have 160 on. So with Veteran with 160 toughness, I can take a mutant hit and I will only lose about the same 40 or so toughness, but then I also have over 80% toughness left on top of Iron Will. So Iron Will actually halves the damage that I take. It's just Psyker has no real damage reduction built into it. So on a regular class like Veteran or Zealot or Ogryn, the mutant's 3-hit combo slam literally does not hurt you if you're full toughness. It only hurts you if you're Psyker. So again, if you're playing Psyker or there's fire, treat mutants like a really high level threat. Also, mutants you can pretty safely dodge through a horde. Although I would not recommend it for the same reason I don't recommend it for anything that can disable you. Because all it takes is one guy taking one step forward out of the horde that's right here to hamper your dodges. And honestly, I think that's everything. Mutants are pretty basic. Sometimes on Maelstrom, you'll get waves of mutants where they spawn like 10 of them. But honestly, by that point, everyone should just be one-shotting them like consistently.